Okay. So Zone, the complete live action series. And then later on, okay, it's still him, but later on, it's like Leonard Lost. The guy that played the father on Leonard the Lost, the original one, about going over the falls in a raft and landing the Land of the Lost. Marshall, Will, and Holly. Anyway, the guy that played him, I forgot the reason, but he left the show, so they had to bring in another actor, and the character played Uncle Jack. And the song was Living in the Land of the Lost. This is the original one. Both were good, though. Yeah. And then later on they made another one where a family was in an SUV car and landed in the Land of the Lost. So it doesn't matter how you get to the Land of the Lost, you get to the Land of the Lost. Like Sesame Street, how you get to Sesame Street, either through a mirror or just walk into town. That's how you get to Sesame Street. Even Copper said when he did the Walking Through the Great Wall of China, the Illusion special, H special, it was just a couple of days before Big Bird got to be at the Great Wall of China. See how it sounds like people outside. Now look out, there ain't nobody out there. It's just Banshee playing video games. But when there's no video games, then I look out here. And when I go, oh wow, people walking their dogs, kids riding their bikes, jets flying in the air, hawks or toy drone hawk, one of the two. We saw one at Captain D's because Tommy pointed it out to Bobby story, and then I'm thinking, it kind of looks like the one that I even said it. I said, oh, I saw one of those over our way. And I told Bobby I got it on video camera. I don't know if it was a real hawk or a toy drone. I kept wanting to say spy drone, but that's not right. It's called a toy. Now I'm about to say it again. Toy drone. Toy drone? Yeah, toy drone, yeah. I can get real close up on it. If the lighting's right, I can keep up with the flag. But if you got the sun extra bright, then it's kind of hard to keep the lens in focus, especially at nighttime when the sun's about getting to go to what do you call that? Sun meets the horizon. Frontier thought of a neat idea. Him and his illusion crew. Sun meets the horizon to make things vanish and reappear. That means make the platform higher up. Sun meets the horizon, make the Santa Fe Hotel vanish and reappear. Jesus helped me realize by using the clouds, and I noticed that the road is meeting the clouds, and then to do the vanish, and then when they make the hotel back, the RV van is in bright light again, more detail in the cars too. And when they bring it down, yeah, but when they had it up in the air, it was all kind of dark shadowed. The van, the cars, and the clouds were even with the road. And before the vanish, the clouds were up higher. And then when he made a vanish, or front trees that turn invisible, Liz, suit your flares, yeah, thing of beauty. It's pretty neat. And then Edmund said, that's amazing, or that's incredible. And Jerry Lewis, illusionist, comedian, got his own magic book on magic tricks, plus he plays a magician in a movie, Mr. Woolley, and I happened to get to check out it at the public school library, and I was like, hey, I didn't know Jerry Lewis did magic tricks. Well, you know, it's got that shoestring trick idea that he did on that movie, Mr. Woolley. And I memorized it, and then I was able to tie my shoes real quick in gym class, and everybody wanted to know how I did it, and I showed them. Let's see. I showed them how to do it. You just take the two ends, and whoosh, instead of taking the normal way, taking a loop, and it's quicker to do it the Drew Lewis way to do it. You magically tie a shoe. You know, there's one girl who's doing magic tricks, and she actually does it the way I used to do it. She must have read the Jerry Lewis magic trick book, or another book that shows the same thing. It's like Timothy Wink's Professor's Nightmare, but I've seen it in other books called Spaghetti. So it's interesting. Timothy Wink's thought of a trick that goes way back called Spaghetti. And Fernando made his own version of Timothy Wink's Misled, and Fernando, Spanish Christian illusionist, calls it Hoodwinked. It's made differently with thick straws. Same concept, but just use thick straws. And in the case of Fernando, he had the classic thick black pencil, so he spray painted it black to match the pencil. Before I learned the secret of it, and before I bought it, I watched Copperfield at Christ Hall and on TV, and I guessed how it was done. And then when I've seen drawings of it on the website everywhere, and this was before YouTube. And then when YouTube came in, Fernando showed how to do it the right way. And when I bought, and way before YouTube, it was 70s or 80s, I bought it from Abbott's Magic Company, and it says you even learn David Copperfield's routine, and I still have the original. I haven't really practiced it since 1980s. I used to do it pretty good enough that I could entertain in a church, and the kids and adults are like, how'd you do that? But I'm kind of a little rusty on it right now, so I don't really want to perform it right now. I don't want to mess up on that. I mean, Fernando does it real good, which is generic version. And there's other ways that you can do it too. Someone suggested magnets and put them together and rig up a gap pencil, or you could Chuck Winnie's Magic Shop, Dave Duncan had one that we used that it can do sort of the same, but it wasn't made for it when I did the melting part. The ripping part's idea was made for it, but I didn't know that. Anyway, the pencil itself just has a slit in it, but it's just made for the ripping part. I tried to get it to melt, and it worked, but once it got done, the pen broke right in half. I don't know if it's because we used it too many times or what, but anyway, we did it at the Kiowa Community College idea. And the light bulb thing, we're going to use it for the Abbott Super X levitation, but levitating my sister Stacy and show there's no support wires or anything, but we ended up just doing it the way we did it for the show, waved our hands all around and underneath because the bulb bust. It was made out of glass. Now you can buy stuff that's made out of plastic so it wouldn't bust if it fell off the Super X table. It was an atomic light bulb. It's the same one that Uncle Fester uses on the Addams Family. Sticks in his mouth and it lights up. Harry Blackstone Sr., Harry Blackstone Jr. did the floating light bulb. Harry Blackstone Jr. added the floating in the audience part. Christian Lewis, KTM Motocross Biker, said he's been to a Blackstone show, and he was there for that light bulb thing. It's real neat, Billy. You gotta see it. It just mind-boggling. It blows your mind. I said, yeah, probably is live. But thanks to Jesus using you as a key, I was able to see Copperfield live at Chrysler Hall 2 times, and then the rest of the times with the Story family. And Tommy Story got to see Copperfield live for the first time. Tommy's youngest nephew, Thomas Story, has never got to see a live Copperfield show. And my youngest nephew, William Marcel Page, never got to see a live Copperfield show. Although William, he's old enough to go to see a live show at MGM and go see Copperfield live that way, if he wanted to. He's old enough. But, because he said he wanted to see a live Copperfield show. Anyway, if Cops would come to Chrysler Hall, it would be easy for him, real good then, because that's where we used to go see Copperfield every year, at Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. We were always ready and excited to go to his show because we knew every year he'd be there. But Copperfield wanted to settle down and have a family and just stay in one place close by his family, which would be MGM. Plus he's got an island to attend to and restaurants and take care of everybody. So he's got that to do with. And although in an interview he said he'd like to come back to television, I hope it's CBS, because he did 20 specials under the belt by CBS, the one that got him to be able to do a lot of shows. Joseph Gates. The Magic at ABC got him rolling. The Magic of ABC starring David Copperfield. That got him starting. And The Magic Man. Doug Henning did The Magic Man too in Merlin. And then Copperfield added his own style, dancing, singing. He said, but they let him do less singing and more of the magic. He said he wouldn't cut out to be a singer. The dancing and the illusions were all his ideas. And most of them would be practicing in his house, adding music and then the illusion, or the illusion and then the music. And later on, he saw Jonia Spinia on a cruise boat and saw her talent, and he learned a lot from her choreographed, and she picked all the music and for the live shows and the TV shows and TV talk show interviews. And he did a tribute to her, and he did a tribute to his father, Highcock County, because he helped out too, and his mother helped out too. Mrs. Cochran helped out too. Especially they both, his parents, helped out in the Copperfield fan club. I remember when I get a birthday card that has Copperfield Niagara Falls picture idea, and Mr. Cochran says David says he hopes you enjoyed his show and his upcoming Flying Live the Dream special. We want you, Billy. Signed, Hi Cochran. Anyway, it's good that the parents are really helping out. Then later on, Gary Bartlett, we gave Copperfield the information on the back of the on a piece of paper, and we were asking how to get your applause for your audience, and we asked, and then always, you know. Anyway, I go more detail on google.com at lt.magic.secrets and other media sections. But basically, on Facebook, I let Gary A. Bartlett know all that to jar his memory, and he liked my comment. He was talking to Valentino Leonard Montana, the Masked Magician, having a nice old conversation. Gary A. Bartlett's a born-again Christian too, and he also prayed for my youngest niece Bobby, and her son Thomas Marcel Page to get better too through the heart surgery, and our church, Christian church, and all the churches were praying. Mrs. Story and Tommy and Mr. Story and everyone were all praying for him, and now Thomas is better. And we also prayed for her recent baby, Devin. He pulled through a miracle. My mom prayed, everybody prayed. Pray to Jesus Christ, Lord Savior God, all capitals. The true Christ, all capitals. And the doctors were amazed that Devin turned around at 360 and back to normal. The power of prayer to Jesus Christ, Lord Savior God.